Welcome back from the break, guys. Every time you think of a fantastic video game and you just remember how good it was, every single one of them always had a really great soundtrack. This is our collection of our top 10 favourite soundtracks from video games. Stay tuned. At number 10 is The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Skyrim has a soundtrack to expand its massive world to no end. Wherever you go, there's always an amazing score to listen to. At number 9 is The Last of Us. The Last of Us really nails it with its touching music, making you feel the emotions in the environment, adding to the drama. At number 8 is Halo 3, a memorable soundtrack for one of the best games on the Xbox 360. From the title screen and shooting up the Covenant to the final hours, the orchestral score really sets the mood. At number 7 is Bastion. With a beautiful soundtrack that just matches up with the game, Bastion is one of those games that you can just sit and listen to.
Build a wall. One day that wall is gonna fall.
At number 6 is Faster Than Light. Though nothing can be heard in space, this soundtrack is one that is sure to echo through your ship during your travels across space. At number 5 is Kingdom Hearts 2. A game with the most beloved characters of the Disney and Square Enix franchises, how can it not have an amazing score? It's one to remember and still great to listen to. At number 4 is Hotline Miami. Here to set the 80s mood is the fast-paced, aggravating Hotline Miami. The music matches the mindless yet strategic violence that takes place throughout the game. At number 3 is Journey. An exclusive for the PlayStation 3, Journey combines its musical score and gameplay. Your character doesn't speak but instead shouts musical notes which keep in time with the background music. At number 2 is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Even after all this time, Ocarina of Time still has one of the best sounding game soundtracks there is. The feeling of terror and uplifting music will put a smile on any gamer. And the number 1 game soundtrack is Final Fantasy X. This is one of the most popular Final Fantasy games to date, and its soundtrack has set the standard that all later Final Fantasy games have had to hold themselves to.
I gotta say, I love some of the soundtracks on that one, especially the Hotline Miami one, because that's got something that you can listen to all through the morning. So you start at like 7 o'clock in the morning, by 11 o'clock in the morning, you're pumped and ready for the day.
I remember you like just pretty much having that album on repeat for like a month straight.
I loved it.
I'm more of a fan of the, the kind of 8-bit or like lo-fi soundtracks. That's why I like the FTL soundtrack so much. I'm not really a fan of, the orchestra and choirs and that kind of stuff, with the exception of Final Fantasy 13, which didn't get in the list, Final Fantasy 10 did.
Yeah, I like the Final Fantasy 13 one as well, except more for its electronic side, like not for the orchestral score stuff, but more for its electronic stuff. And I liked how they did it, and they didn't just revert back into like Final Fantasy 3 8-bit style stuff. They actually sort of made something decent.
Halo 3, woo, yeah!
As always, all you got to say is Halo.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts, Ocarina of Time, I'm pretty happy.
All right, but now we got Vince's WG101 on Terraria.
Terraria is an action-adventure sandbox 2D side-scroller. It was made by Relogic and was originally released on Windows on the 16th of May 2011 and is now also available on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Android and even PS Vita. The graphics in Terraria have a similar feel to that of Minecraft. Though the two games are extremely alike through the goal of survival in the wilderness, they have completely different gameplay. Terraria's 2D tiles can sometimes be tricky to navigate as some of the random world generation is crazy. While I consider this a disadvantage in Terraria, I find it an advantage in Minecraft. They both have 16-bit sprites, but in Minecraft the world is obviously 3D, and you have a lot more options when travelling, building and fighting. I played Minecraft before I played Terraria, and the constraints of only moving 4 directions got extremely frustrating very quickly. But don't get me wrong, Terraria is still extremely fun to play. The amount that has been jam-packed into this game makes it so easy to come back to time and time again. In the game, you create your own character in a randomly generated world. You'll need to explore, craft, build and fight a variety of creatures to survive the unforgiving landscape. You have a ton of items to create and use in this game, which gives it more of an original feel. Now, in Terraria, you're going to need to get some armor to defend yourself from all the monsters that are trying to destroy you. There are many different types of armor available, but we're going to focus on getting the Meteor armor. Meteor armor is a full-body tier 1 armor that provides you with an additional 16 defense. To craft the armor, you're going to need 16 meteorite bars, and an iron or lead anvil. To create an anvil, you need 5 bars of iron or lead. When wearing a complete set of armor that is made from the same material, you will gain what is called a set bonus. The set bonus of meteor armor is that it costs no mana when using a space gun, which you can also make out of meteorite. To get meteor armor, you'll need to build a house for protection and for sorting weapons and tools. When you are comfortably geared up, you'll need to wait until nighttime. When the sun eventually goes down, go outside and kill demon eyes that are randomly floating around, as they should drop lenses. Once you have 6, you can create a suspicious looking eye at a demon altar, which are located in caverns within the corruption. After you've created an eye, build a long raised platform near your house. This is where you will battle the Eye of Cthulhu, which is a boss that you must defeat in order for a meteor to spawn. Once he is defeated, a dryad will move into an empty room in your house if it meets your certain requirements, such as a chair and a table. You can buy purification powder off the dryad, which can be used to turn end stone into normal stone, which you will need when going to find shadow orbs. Shadow orbs are little orbs that can be found at the bottom of chasms within the corruption. Once you're at a shadow orb, you'll need to destroy it. This can be done with a hammer, bombs, or dynamite. Once destroyed, it drops random loot and sometimes causes an event to happen, which can either be a meteorite spawning, or the Eater of All Worlds, which is another boss. The event we want to happen is for a meteor to spawn. You may need to destroy a couple of these, as it may cause another boss to spawn. After the meteor spawns, you will want to go and search for it. Once you find it, you will see that there are enemies that look like small balls of fire, but these are easy to kill. Once you step on the meteor, you'll take fire damage, so make sure you take an obsidian horseshoe with you so that you don't get hurt when mining it. This item can be found in chests or crafted. Once you mine the meteor, head back to your home and create the armor. The meteor armor you have just crafted gives a small amount of light when you're moving because the suit is somewhat on fire, but it doesn't hurt you. Now that you have the armor, you can strive towards obtaining the next tier up, Platinum armor.